Hey there, everybody. Robert Taylor with Wonderscape Creations, continuing on with the combat ability for our ninja, um, our ninja ability that we're doing. So we still need to do the shield stuff, and there are a couple extra steps with them for the example that was provided for us. So the first thing we need to do is to create the gameplay effect for it. So we are going to, I don't know why I opened that. We will come here to the drawer, and I'm going to go here to gas, and I'm going to get a new folder, call it gameplay effects. We will open it up, and we are going to go into blueprint, type combat effect. As you can see, we already have a few basic ones already set up for us. And what we want is the underscore melee hit. Let's select. And this is a gameplay effect, so GE. And we will name it damage knockback is what they're calling it. We don't have any knockback animations, but we will make do. So now we open it up, and there are a lot of things in the gameplay effect. Most of it we will ignore for the time being. So remember, once we get to it, we will go through everything. Right now, what we need to make sure we have set up is in the components. We go ahead and look at the asset tags. The additional effects we can ignore. But as you can see right now, we have damage melee. We need to add one, and it needs to be knockback. So now we have both of those. The next thing that we need to do is to go to the executions, and we need to do a calculation modifier. And what we need to select here is this temporary variable one. And then add base is where we will keep it, and put this at 1.5, just so that we have something there. Compile and save. And now we have the gameplay effect done. Again, we will go way deeper into this stuff, probably sometime in the next week or two. The next thing we need to do is have another gameplay effect, it looks like. I forgot about this status effect. We're going to make another status effect, and this one is to consume stamina on a weapon strike. So we will, again, come to the class, the blueprint creation section, and this time we just want a basic gameplay effect. We don't need anything special. Select GE, and we will name this one cost to parry. And we are going to open it up, and the first thing we will do is open up the components and additional effect, apply additional effects. Let's see, on application gameplay effects, plus sign here, and then we will look for the cancel stamina regeneration. All right, and then we will go ahead and do the modifier. We'll hit modifier, plus sign, and we are going to just search for, not sure why it's not showing up there. stamina. And we want this stamina, not max stamina. Not max stamina total, not the add, not the percent. We just want stamina. And then we're going to go to the modifier magnitude. We're going to leave it as is, super simple, and put a -5. That is it for that one. I compile and save. Now, just as a brief FYI, when we put this effect, cancel stamina regeneration, it will pause the regeneration. But it is important to note that it does not continue. If you hit a second time, it doesn't reapply it. And I haven't looked into why yet, but that will be taken care of. Because, yeah, it should just stay in effect, in my opinion. So, let's keep on going here. Now we're going to create the second ability. Let's go back to gas, go to abilities, shield abilities, and then we are going to right click, blueprint class, and again look for combat ability underscore attack and GA underscore shield parry. Now let's open it up, and the melee damage effect class we are going to change to that knockback one that we just made. And then the animation is the shield parry. Obviously, we will turn off shield warping for the time being and turn on debug. Now, the next thing we will do is, before I forget, we're going to come down here to the cost, and we're going to just search for parry so we can find the cost parry. And now we need to lastly make sure we add our, which one did they want us to add? There it is. We'll come over here to the asset tags, starts with attack, and we want to add a sub tag. Make sure that the source is selected, and we will choose secondary. Perfect. Now we are good to go. Now, the next thing that we need to do is completely and totally dependent on what you as the developer are going to do, because we need to add these abilities to be able to use them. And there are two places to use them. There are two places to use them if you have both combat and inventory. If you only have combat, then you only have one option. If you have the inventory, then you more than likely, and you have your own combat, then you more than likely have your own location, so you'd still have two options. So let's go ahead and set this up. I will show you where one location is and place it in the where I want it. So generally speaking, when you open up your game mode to go to your player state, because that's where your ability system component is, the default ability setup is here. Now remember, this is for those who only have combat. We open it up, and we can choose default gameplay abilities. And this is where you would add them. The plus sign, come in here, look for combo, GA sword combo, and now you would be able to activate it. If I hit save, come in here. Oh, I didn't set up the input. That's why it's not going to show. Sorry about that. Then when you hit the input, this would happen. This would activate. That's not what I'm going to do. We're going to go ahead and hit the delete right there and hit save. What I will be doing, where I will be placing it, is in the inventory, in the blueprints. I believe it's in the items section for sword and shield. If you had just sword, No, it's in the actual equipment. There we go. If you have it just sword and just shield, then you would only put the sword combo in the sword one and the shield parry in the shield one. So gameplay abilities. We'll hit the plus sign twice. And we are going to add the sword combo and the shield parry. And we are now good to go there. Now we need to configure the player inputs. We've done this once before, but again, I'm going to lead you through the whole process. Let's go ahead and close these up because we don't need them anymore, assuming, we didn't miss anything. Come here to inputs, input action. First, we need a primary and a secondary attack button. So let's go ahead and do, well, input action, IA, primary attack. And then I'll go ahead and open it up. We want trigger of pressed. We'll hit save, close it, and then we're going to duplicate this to get a secondary. All right, let's save. Now we're going to come back here into the inputs, come into our input mapping context here. And the first thing we want, come over here, we're going to search for primary. That can stop, please. And then we'll click on the keyboard and then click again so it knows to use left mouse button. Now we will add another map and we will look for secondary. Oops. And right click on it. I'll hit save because I want this to stop doing what it was doing. And the next thing we need to do is, I believe the input, the handlers are already created for us in this instant. So let's find out with the plus icon here and search for primary. Nope, they are not created. Fantastic. All right. So what we need to do is, let's go ahead and open our content drawer. We'll do that in here. Input handlers, blueprint, and we need to have two of these. Activate ability by tags. We'll hit select, IH, and this one, oh my goodness, stop saving. This one we will call primary attack. Let's go ahead and open it up. And the very first thing that we are going to want to do is come here into ability. Now down the road, when we go into combos, we'll change this to combo. But for now, because we want to make sure it works, we'll hit A right here. And then for the input handler, we look for primary. And I do believe that is all we need to do for this one. Now if we come to content drawer, duplicate this. For secondary, open it up. And this time we will turn that off. We want secondary, compile and save. Now we'll go back to our Ninja setup data asset. Now we can look for primary. And then we can look for secondary. And save. Now, when we hit play, if I hit the left mouse button, I attack. If I hit the right mouse button, I parry. And as you can see, my stamina disappears. And it eventually starts coming back. as you can see, if I keep on going with it, and you notice how it started coming back. So that's what I'm talking about. For some reason, that tag does not stay like it should, and we'll figure it out down the road. But that is everything for the attacks and the abilities. So I will see you in the next episode.